All right. All right. It says we're live.
Here's the hoping.
I mean, from what I'm seeing, from all the things on the internet, all you crazy kids.
We're off that stream stuff. We're on the, what's this thing called?
Streamlabs.
Streamlabs.
Yeah, so just a quick, I see us live. So I mean, just a quick rundown for some of the people who might be watching and might be wondering, what's different, why it might have changed and whatnot. StreamYard was our home for a long time. We really appreciated using StreamYard, but recently StreamYard did something insane and raised their price, essentially doubled their price in one go.
They think they're restaurants and airports.
Yeah. And a lot of people said, oh, well, they got bought recently by another company. Mm-hmm. The original owners, the two guys who sold it to Hobson, said, oh man, fingers crossed that we can buy it back. They unfortunately weren't able to buy it back, which was very sad because I saw a lot of their posts. They had been there from the beginning. People always referred to them as the heart of the company. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. As soon as it started with the switchover, everyone started saying, what are these price hikes? And I hadn't received an email yet, but I did speak to the crew, the free agents media, and I did ask them, hey guys, there's this other service. It seems significantly cheaper, and I think we could maybe switch to that one. It looks very similar. We should have the same functionality, ideally, and everyone agreed. So I started doing the test, and in the week that I was doing test, we got an email with our price hike, and it was literally twice the price.
Yeah.
And
Too much money.
Too much money.
Too much.
Ridiculous money.
And now we get more for a quarter of that original money.
Yeah. So one of the things that's really cool about Streamlabs, and at some point we're going to have a code of our own that we can send to people if they want to sign up for Streamlabs, which is pretty fun because it helps us with our subscription to the service. But one of the reasons that I was excited for it is because when you get Streamlabs, you get a video editor, kind of like CapCut. You get a podcast editor like Descript for anyone who knows those things, and you get a link in bio like called Link Space, so you can create like your own link in bio. And then there's also Cross Clip, which is similar from what I see to Opus Clip. Unfortunately, it doesn't have AI assistance though, so you still have to pick the clips yourself, but you can like move all the pieces around. You make it in portrait mode for smartphones, and it has all this functionality, and I thought that was really cool. So we switched, we signed over. I was really nervous about this because this was the first time using it, and I didn't want anything to look too different. I didn't want the vibe to feel different for the stream, but so far so good. I mean, I'm looking at it myself on the screen to my left, and we look exactly the same. Pretty much the same layout. So I'm really, really happy about it. And I guess we can just get to the show.
Let's jump.
Yeah. We got a bunch of news right off the top. So I know we said we weren't going to talk about Tito passing, but I do feel like John Amos deserves a little bit of a nod.
There's a ridiculous list.
Yeah, the list is
it's like 10 people, 11, 12. Like Grim Reaper had a day today.
Yeah.
had a week, a few days, man.
Yeah. So if anything, I would want to say just rest in peace to all of the talented artists and creators and people that passed recently. Honestly, the list is very long and very sad. John Amos, who was was on Good Times, which was one of the where I think he started, if I'm not mistaken, or most recognizable from his early part of his career.
There's two.
Sorry, there's two what?
There's two. I would say like the big ones that he was most recognizable. Yeah. I'm just looking up his IMDb right now.
So Good Times, Coming to America,
Roots.
Yes.
Roots was the big one.
Yeah, Roots was another huge one. And then he was also, Jaws, you said, on the Nia Long's dad
in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right. So, he's a significantly important Black actor who's done a lot. The fact that both him and James Earl Jones passed in such a short time is also very sad because they both played the father figures in the Coming to America franchise. And so that was kind of like when I realized that there was like a picture of the three of the like James Earl Jones. I feel so bad for forgetting the wife's name right now. But the matriarch from Coming to America and John Amos, and there's a picture of the three of them, and someone wrote like reunited, and I was just like, well, that's like, I mean, it's depressing, but
it's sweet, but
yeah, it's that weird thing that people do now where they keep doing this like, oh,
they'll get a screenshot from a movie and then say, oh, hey, all these people have passed.
Yeah,
I think I saw another one with John Amos, Tiny Lister, somebody else, and two other people. Like I can't even remember the name of the movie, but it was just like all four people in that shot had passed, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, so there's a lot of loss. It's very sad, but I mean, you know, if anything, I would think those artists and creators would want us all to celebrate that the experiences that we got to have and that we got to share from the amazing things they created, and to move forward, knowing that their legacies continue. And I'm really excited for all the future things that the people they've inspired can create. If anything,
I think Queen Eleone's the actress's name was Maggie Sinclair.
There we go. Thank you so much. Yeah, I definitely wanted to honor her.
Maggie She's Sinclair. Also the voice of Sarabi in, in The Lion King.
Yes, yeah.
So they both played king and queen in two other movies.
Yeah. They had that regalness to them.
John also did a good bad guy in Die Hard too.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was bothering me, and I had to look at IMDb.
No, hey man,
and it's bothering me, and
I was like, Die Hard 2. What did he do? That was the one I didn't watch super hard. I remember.
he's the guy who you think is good, and then he turns out to be the bad guy.
Because I remember as a kid we watched Terminator 2 and we watched Die Hard 2. And even as a kid, we're like, okay, Die Hard 2 is a little bit hardcore because he has to kill the dude with the icicle. That's a bit much. That's a bit much.
It was a little bit much.
As these kids in elementary school, that's a stabbing the guy in the eye as T2000. Oh yeah, that's thumbs up. But
listen,
icicle kill.
If the Crow can kill 5 people with a sword to his chest, I mean that can't be that out of the way. Stupid Crow. Anyways, let's go on to the next
I was trying to ignore it. It was one of those moments where, when kids like hurt themselves and they say just ignore it, just laugh with them. That's what this was doing over here, because he's still talking about this movie. He can't let it go.
Bad.
What?
He cannot let it go.
It's the second one, not the first one.
Something wrong.
Which movie?
Die Hard 2.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Fully a Dude.
He's talking about The Crow.
I'm trying to shit on The Crow.
Oh.
Yeah, Jaws. That's the thing. He's not talking about Die Hard 2. He's talking about The Crow, and I heard
that was all a setup.
But we knew it was going to be bad. Like,
we already knew that.
Yeah. No, we knew it was going to be bad, but that was something else.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
He acts like he didn't know. Anyways, we won't. Yeah, we won't.
Hey, Dave has his,
Yeah.
Hey.
Banner year for Lionsgate.
Rant. I chose the rant.
You know what though? True, it's fair. Because I've gone on some nasty rants myself. Shazam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, you were right though, because check Levy boy. Levy's a big good boy. A big.
You know what?
You
know what? Do you want to know what?
I didn't call that he was an idiot, but I called that the movie sucked. I'm happy it's both.
Well, I mean, if you chose the movie,
you want to hear something really funny? Justice League called it.
Oh, true. Yes, I saw that poster.
There's an awesome picture of Superman holding up a newspaper, and it says Shazam backs Luthor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I would just like to say, I think Justice League did that, if I'm not mistaken, as a nod to Kingdom Come, because in Kingdom Come, the comic, Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, is brainwashed by Lex Luthor and like works for him. And I always thought that was a nod to Kingdom Come.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's also like
no, it's great. It's great.
But I mean, it's like it's a kid. It's like, well, I'm with the president. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You think that's what they're building to?
That's a good point, Jaws. Yeah, a Billy Batson would think like, well, this guy's the president. Of course, I want to. That's so cool. They don't know that he's a corrupt monster. Sorry, Steve, what were you saying?
I was saying, do you think that's what they're building to? Kingdom Come,
dude. Do we want to go down that road already? Because I tried not to talk about it.
Soon.
Nah, but like I feel like they're trying to do endgame type stuff.
Skinny, you know why? But first, okay, let's start with this. The S on his chest for this movie, he acknowledged, is the Kingdom Come S from before. It's not black. It's when it's red and gold before he gets like tired of the system.
Old and disgruntled. And
Yeah,
goes on a
exactly.
farm.
Yes, because what's his name? Magog, I think, is the villain.
Magog. Yeah.
Magog kind of takes over. He like kills somebody, and then when he goes to court, Superman speaks up and is just like, "Well, this was wrong," and the people clear his name, and Superman's just like, "The fuck," and it's just like, "This is not the America I stand for."
For real, Jigga?
Yeah.
Oh
All right, I'm gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when Martin Luther King came back on the Boondocks.
Oh yeah, I'm going to Canada.
Oh my god. I'm back out here slowly.
You're gonna Homer Simpson into the bushes.
Straight up.
But yeah, what else did we have in news? Well, actually, speaking of the Simpsons, real quick, Skinny. I know I wanted to bring it up because
man,
Skinny, you're a big fan of the idea that the universe ends when the Simpsons ends, which
it's the balance of the universe, bro. I'm telling you, man. Hey, look what's happening right now, and look what they just teased. I'm just saying.
Simpsons game
I
is
feel like
over.
Look at all that's going on in the world right now. Not even joking, but look at all that's going on in the world.
I feel like the Simpsons went, oh, and then they went, nah, just joking.
yeah.
Hell yeah, they said not just joking, because then they saw, hey, listen, balance of the universe. That's all I'm saying.
I do like the intro from Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, can we explain to people? Jaws, did you get to watch it? I didn't get to watch it. So
neither did
I just saw someone summarize it and show clips and stuff like that.
Okay, so you probably know more. Can you explain to people what they did, speaking before we continue?
So basically, the Simpsons season premiere pretended that it was their season finale, their series finale.
Right.
So during the series finale, it's kind of like taking place in our world, sorta, pseudo. So it's like a star-studded event. All these celebrities are coming to like the Chinese theater to watch it.
Right.
And the person that's hosting it is Conan O'Brien, because everyone knows that he's got his big start at The Simpsons and everything, and they really liked him and he had good idea, yada yada. So one of his jokes that he says is, I'm very proud to be here at the series finale. As you know, I've been a part of many series finales in my career, 3 of them to be exact. Just anytime anything fails, I'm there, basically, kind of thing. And then they show off that I guess they're going to end The Simpsons by using AI to write the script for the last episode.
Love it.
So what ends up happening is it's Bart's not his 10th birthday, but it's his 11th birthday.
Right, because he's been 10 for like 30 years.
Yeah. So it's his 11th birthday, and anywhere and everywhere he goes, other people are getting other spin-off shows. So they're trying to wrap up their stuff, and then they'll shut off the light and say, I'm going to miss this place, and shut off the light, but Bart's just there. So the crux of it is that Bart has a birthday. Homer forgot to mail out the invite, so he's giving everybody the invites to his birthday. But everyone that he goes to, they keep shutting the lights off and say, I'm going to miss this place. So another one is where Mr. Burns is dead, and so he gives all the money to the employees. But it turns out it was a prank. But then turns out Homer, by accident, knocks him over into a vat of chemicals, and he dies. And then it turns out that actually happened. So everyone gets a big payday. And then Carl is leaving the power plant. He's like, I'm going to miss this place. Shuts off the light, close the door. It's just a running gag they do, because that's what happens with a bunch of series finales.
Yeah. They do a lot of tropes.
Yeah, a lot of tropes. And then I think in the middle of this viewing of this showing, as this AI is writing the episode, these 3 exec AIs come out to give notes. No, we have to give notes. You can't do this, you can't. And so it's being very meta and stuff, and you're seeing other characters that you like that have died, that are just there for whatever reason, and et cetera. And in the end, it turns out that Bart was dreaming. It's not his 11th birthday. It's actually his 10th. And then it cuts back to the real world with Conan hosting. And the AI is like freaking out because it can't. It's like, because at some point Bart yells at everybody and breaks the fourth wall. Not fourth wall, but he breaks and says, "No,
yeah, this can't happen. My birthday can't happen. No." And then basically just like,
and so like the AI is trying to fight Bart to like change it back, and then all this stuff happens.
So essentially,
Bart knows that things will go down. Exactly, that's what he's saying. All right, thank you, Bart. Right.
So basically, in the end, I think the AI kind of just like can't handle it and just blows up and dies or whatever. And so
Skinny. I like that Skinny feels so justified in this moment
because they know.
And so it ends with I guess I'm not sure how the ending really is, but it's like Conan O'Brien's like, oh well, I guess that's it. I guess we're still doing Simpsons or whatever. And so everyone leaves the theater. There's like a cameo from John Cena, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, there's a few cameos,
I think people were surprised that Tom Hanks was there because he was only there for the movie, and then they got him for the TV show kind of thing.
Cool. Yeah.
And so everyone leaves the theater, blah blah blah, and then it ends with Conan O'Brien. Man, I'm gonna miss this place.
That is pretty good.
No diss to Tom Hanks, but what's Tom doing right now, really? Like for him to be like, no, I'm not gonna do Simpsons on TV.
I mean, you don't like. Are you gonna waste your Tom Hanks? Like, hey, yo, come do this, Tom Hanks? Or are you gonna like really save it for something like really good? But he's winning a bunch of Emmys. Yeah, he's playing what was it called? What's the Otis song? Is it Otis from Watch the Throne?
Yeah.
He's playing Otis, taking another Emmy, either throwing it into a fire behind him because he has so many to keep warm, or he's taking an Emmy, putting on his Mercedes and just duct taping it to the front, being like, yeah, I want another one. And he's done that twice. He's done those jokes actually twice.
Jesus.
I mean, when you're, like we always say, when you're America's dad, people are just gonna love you.
Yeah, when the other one you've already got rid of,
the only American celebrity that has kept the image. Even Dave Grohl got caught up on shit.
Dude, Dave Grohl got caught up on shit.
Dude, he has a baby outside of wedlock, bro.
Yeah, he had a mistress and had another kid
for a while.
Really, that drummer?
He came out before he got ahead of the
story.
The story.
No, it's pretty bad because he got ahead of the story. Already lawyered up with a divorce lawyer.
Yes, I heard that.
No way, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he'd already spoken to a divorce lawyer because he was expecting to get serve papers.
But it's not the first time he's cheated. So
no. Well, I
don't want to be like this. You're like the rock star of rock stars of this generation.
Rock star doesn't
say no all the time.
I mean, it kind of comes with the whole territory.
Well, okay,
80s rock star. Sorry, not current, but. If you're singing songs like Kings of Leon, listen. I'm just saying.
This is one of the things that I always find interesting when it comes to celebrity culture and like rock bands and stuff. Because I think we could all agree, if Dave Grohl was his age in a rock band, no wife, no kids, people would find that weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait, what do you mean?
People would find it weird if there was like a 50-something, almost 60-year-old rock musician who never had kids, not divorced, never had kids, never
married. Yeah, you can't be out here doing that still rocking. No, Mick Jagger's slanging out here.
And he's been divorced.
He's
same with Steve Tyler out here too.
Yeah, they've been in relationships, but they're smart. They never got married because they know it's going to be a temptation.
No, they've been married. They just got divorced.
They've been married. They got divorced.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm saying,
Rod Stewart.
Yeah, if a rock star or any artist of a certain age is celibate or single, I should say single, and has never had kids and has never been in a relationship, it would be like people would tag it as, oh, that's a little weird.
Well, yeah.
They would hound them and say that they're gay or something's wrong.
Right.
That's what always happens.
And that's what the reason I bring that up is because had he done it the other way, where it's just like, you know what, I'm going to be a bachelor for the rest of my life, play rock and roll, sleep with whoever I want, and go about my business. No, he ends up meeting someone, he falls in love, he gets into a relationship. And again, we're not excusing it. We're just saying the man is on tour. He's just having people throw themselves at him all the time. And unfortunately, he's stupid. He gives in, he hooks up with someone. And then the man has to go see a divorce lawyer to plan for when the other shoot.
Sadly,
the crazy part.
The appeal isn't that he's so much a rock star, because I mean, whatever. There's a million of them. Is that he's also married.
That's the other thing, right?
Women are attracted to that.
He doesn't realize that
people.
Yeah, I was gonna say people,
because I'm not saying. I bet he's been hit on by everything that has
That's
two
what I was
legs.
gonna say.
Everything that's had two legs.
The amount of people who are probably just like, I like the fact that you could never invest more in me. I just want the rock star for this moment. And then when they have that moment, hey, Drake, we talked about Drake. Drake had to put hot sauce into condoms because he was worried.
Because he already got one.
Yeah.
That he was hiding for. He already got one that he was hiding for a while.
Right.
And it was reported on, and no one picked up on it. And then it was only when the beef started with Pusha
And
T.
you know what? It's funny
came up.
because I'm not going to pretend like the female artists aren't doing the same. Like Nicki Minaj,
dude, all of them.
Bless your soul, but you're not telling me there's never been a guy you found so beautiful, and the man at home is like accused of all these crimes, and you're just like, I'm allowed to have one side piece for a night, you know? Like,
listen, dog. It took Cardi B 33 seconds. Stop. It can happen like that.
If you have
Cardi was just like, Cardi had people in speed dial
on Deckerson. Cardi was just like, yo, like what?
Here's the thing, though. If you're in a lifestyle where you're super popular, people are throwing themselves at you, and you're constantly not at home.
Oh man.
No, let's just be honest. If you're, if you're on tour, like
that's the thing. That's
250 days of the year, you're gonna have needs.
That's why wrestlers hook up with other wrestlers.
I was just gonna say.
You want to know? You want to know
exactly it,
dude. You want to know who
100%
who did pretty well? You want to know who did pretty well? LL Cool J.
What?
Explain.
Not married?
No, he is married. He's married. Married for a long time.
Right.
And I think
never caught. Sorry, never cheated.
Either never cheated. Either never caught. But I remember when he was on Drink Champs.
Yeah. I'm sorry to put that on his jacket, by the way. I don't.
Yeah, you did.
I remember on Drink Champs, Nori said, "Man, like." LL is a good dude. You want to know who's a good dude? Because he goes to bed early.
That'll save you. That'll save you.
9 hours sleep every night.
I've never seen a man like, okay, show's done. Okay, talk what I need to talk to. All right, where you going? Going to put in a workout, go to bed. What do you mean go to bed? How do you think I stay married for so long?
Yeah. Well, dude, what's the saying? Nothing good happens after 11.
Technically, it used to be 2, but now people are actually putting out nothing good after 10 or 11.
Oh wait, they used
dropping it back a little bit.
2.
Yeah, it used to be after 2.
Gag from How I Met Your Mother was 2, which is where it became popular.
Okay.
But I'll say this: you get a song, "The Best of You." Every girl or person's gonna want the best of you. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of setup with him. And the thing is, the other thing I think for sure, there's some people who tempted him just because he had such the good boy image. Like he's such a home because he generally. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Corey Taylor of Slipknot, who's a good friend of him, he's like, it doesn't make him not a good guy. He did something wrong. We're all flawed. He made a mistake. He's not a bad person, but we all have our demons. And in this scenario, it's like, because example, David Grohl, even now, regardless, you still seem like a really cool guy that, like, if he was chilling on the street and say, dude, you want a beer? I'd be like, I will not go to work today. And I'll spend all week with you if you want to have a beer all week.
I definitely think that Dave Grohl is probably like rock dad. Like,
he's the equivalent to Snoop Dogg of
he's white Snoop
Rock.
Maybe.
Yeah, like Snoop everybody's uncle, everyone's chill uncle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Chill uncle. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think the only thing that's sneaky about Snoop Dogg is just don't try to smoke.
Don't try
the same amount.
Yeah, exactly. Don't try to
You're just gonna be like, help.
Huh.
And then with Snoop, his chill uncle is Willie Nelson, and he can't smoke the same amount as Willie. You know what I mean? Like just.
But all that to say, Grohl, it is what it is, and to all the musicians and
another RIP.
It's like, hold on, musicians, just realize that you're the one being conquered, huh?
Yeah,
not the other way around. They don't care that you're a rock star. They just want to tell their friends that they did that with the rock stars.
Is that like getting blocked on Twitter from a celebrity? Oh, look at that! I pissed them so much. I pissed them off so much. They noticed me and then they blocked me.
Exactly. Except for this one's a little bit more grave, and then you can get into taking pictures and soliciting and extorting.
Did you ever
bringing a kid into the world?
Did you ever watch the show Dave Skinny?
Yeah, season 1 and a bit of season 2.
Because towards the end of the I don't know if they're canceled, but
I hope it is.
In the last season, I think the last season, there's a part where this girl hangs out with Dave and plays it chill. like she's not into him. But then her friend snitches and it's just like, oh, she's just playing a part because she knows you don't like being pursued. She's actually super obsessed with you and is like looking forward to sleeping with you. And then the whole like night devolves and he like, you know, he has to like run from the house because the like drunk guys are chasing him. You know how the show was. But all that to say, like the idea that this girl was planning just so that she could get him, and that kind of goes with what we were saying where people, and you know, he's not married, but like the character was in the time kind of in a relationship or in a middle state of something and was trying to figure himself out. And then you have the situation where someone feels like they're a cool person, they're acting chill, you find out it's a performance, they're planning to brag that they to you and they want to post pictures with you and stuff like that. It's stuff like that. Like you said, they conquered. She was trying to conquer him.
They're doing it to regular people. You think they're not going to do it to celebrities? It's wild out here in these streets. People are trying to rob you. Every day is robbing season. Just rob it. Chill out.
And yeah, people
Everyone's
are getting
trying to
home.
get, everyone's trying to get trophies or achievements.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, Dave. Say that again.
I was saying celebrities need to have NDAs to have sex now.
Yeah,
that's basically what it is.
I would already. Forget it.
On other stuff that we got, speaking of legal situations, U.S. Trademark Office canceled Marvel and DC's superhero mark. So another comic company, like comic book label out in the UK, wanted to use the word superhero, which I never even knew Marvel and DC had a joint trademark.
I heard that, but I heard it was only them. Yeah.
Yeah, I never knew you were. First of all,
that's cold.
The first thing that I found great was when I started reading the document, the guy was explaining, well, the reason we're submitting this is because, first of all, you can't share a trademark. Like two people can't have a trademark together.
Is crazy.
Yeah. You guys are competitors and you're blocking out all the other competitors so that you can compete together with this one word. What the hell? And funny enough, in the end, when the papers were submitted to the court, Marvel and DC didn't even fight it. They left it alone. They just let it fall. Wow.
Yeah,
so I'm sure.
Stupid.
Yeah,
they got away with what they needed. So now they can
they're like idiots.
Superhero. Use superhero. You can't use Batman. Can't use Superman.
Years. It took years before someone else was just like, "Hey, maybe we should challenge this." And that's you're right, 100%. The crazy part is no one else challenged it earlier, or if they did, it wasn't made public, and Marvel or DC would shut it down. But for some reason now they don't care, and I'm sure they didn't care because it would have been a bad look had they
go ahead. All your guys superheroes. Yeah. Everybody says superhero. You know who's going to come up. A little thing called Google exists now, and we just run the top listing on that. So bye.
Hardcore.
I just want to say what's up to everybody because I see that Lee J, Eva, and Mark are in the chat. I see a bunch of people are watching. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying this new layout. I mean, again, it probably doesn't even look any different to you. For us, it looks completely different on our end. But yeah, ideally, it looks exactly the same, and we can still share stuff on the screen. So I am going to try. Yeah, there we go. What's up? And then we were called the Gentleman.
Good evening.
Tip my hat. And then we got our boy Mark saying what's up. So shout outs to Mark.
Sups.
What else we got in news? David Diggs joins The Boys for its 5th and final season.
I didn't even finish last season, man.
Hey, you know what? At this point, I would say wait till Gen V and the 5th season are done and binge through, man, because it's a fun show. So
you know what's weird?
I fast forward through the talking.
There's a lot of weird things.
Wait, you fast forward through the talking of the
I fast forward through most of the show. It's The Boys is the only show where I pull a Brian, where I'll just be like, yeah, enough of this.
So you fast forward to the gross stuff.
No, I like because I'm so tired of having anxiety of anticipating some gross stuff that I'm just like, nah, B, whatever. Who's gonna die? Okay, nobody I care about. Good, let's go. And I just run right through it. The whole thing with the spider dude and all that web stuff where they had Huey strapped up.
Oh yeah, the abuse. Yeah, that was
like TiVo. It was great.
That's hilarious.
You know what? I'll give it to you though, because at least you're not just reading recaps, because that's what you used to would have done. Yeah, you would have before just read recaps.
I'll sit there and put it on. I'll be like, okay, first 10 minutes is cool, and then when it gets too like gross and kind of like suspect gross, like they had him. The girl came in, she started doing the weird stuff. I'm like, I had to forward, bro.
What I'm feeling a little bit weird about it, not about the show, but just like random ads you're getting is that the guy that plays Homelander is showing up on those ads where it's like, oh, hey, I pick up the guns and then I get more guys, and it's see, it's not a fake game. They made a game about the fake game, and now it's a real game. I'm like,
I downloaded that game the other day because of that. Straight up,
I have no clue what you guys are talking about.
So there was a made up ad that was a fake game where it's like you're like shooting straight, like and you could shoot things to like multiply your guys and get weapons or whatever, and you have to just, like you plow through guys. It was a made up game, but people got so interested in the game that people actually made it. In order to make it popular, they got the guy who played Homelander to like, and they literally said exactly what I did. They're like, "What are you doing?" Like, "Oh, I'm playing the game that blah blah," like exactly what I just said.
That's hilarious.
And honestly, I decided to give it a try, like legit yesterday.
No,
we are doomed.
and was it the game or was it something else?
It's the game. It's purely the game. It's okay.
And wait, what's the point of the game?
Just to kill. To kill in like basically what it is, it's like you're in a zombie universe and you're trying to expand your map, and then some things will happen that like certain of your characters can get destroyed. Like example, the first challenge was, I think I failed it because it's a time thing. I'm like, I'm not going to play to your rules of timing things. Like there's a character that you have, and they're like, you have to like, she's like trapped and like she's attached to like bombs, and you have to like cut the wires, but you have to like go throughout the village and like collect the wire cutters.
Okay.
But it's like time 24 hours. I'm there. I'm like 10 minutes. Like, okay. The next day I'm like 10 minutes. Like, oh, you're going to die. I'm not going to, because it's real time. And I thought if you get the cutters, like, okay, you're going to get more time. Like, no, it's not. I'm like, okay, you're just going to die.
All right.
I don't care about this game that much.
Hilarious.
But I'm only on the shop for a new game because they're destroying
Simpsons tap out. You said,
which I'm super annoyed about.
I can't believe you actually played that game. Like, that's funny. I worked on that. That was one of the few games, the first games I worked on at EA Mobile, and that thing's still going. That's cute.
Well, I mean, it is until freaking February. Well, like it's January 24th, something like that.
Okay. That's sad.
I'm so annoyed though because I'm not going to go on a crazy rant, but like. I collected a lot of stuff in the game.
Yeah.
I was like, if I get to a certain point, there's a way to implode your city.
Okay.
So that you could like then like rebuild it properly. Because I got so many things, I'm like, I couldn't like always rejig the city.
Right.
So I finally
you didn't have enough space for placements for certain things.
Exactly. Right. So I was just putting things in corners. I'm like, okay, one day I'm just gonna implode everything and like make my city.
Right.
Legit early this month, like, oh sick. If I just get these two things, I could implode the city finally, and I could end the game on my terms by finally completing the city.
Right.
Which is like, you know, it's going to take me a while to do nonetheless. Sure. And then like you have till January. Like, there's no way I'm going to like, I'm not going to spend all this time on like a I'm not going to like ignore my life just to like be able to get this accomplished. Like, screw you guys.
That's so rude.
Like one of those hour time, things in the bathroom. Sit right there.
Yeah. Yo, dude, like when you're at work, there's any type of I mean when you
theoretically,
what are you doing in the bathroom?
Allegedly. Anyways, moving on to another one. This one you're gonna like, Dave. Dynamic duo DC Robin movie announced with Matt Reeves and James Gunn working on it. So this was a tweet. I'm gonna read the tweet that Mr. Gunn posted. Dave was very excited about this news. I have thoughts. Over the moon, excited to announce the newest DC Studios Warner Brother Pictures animation greenlit for theaters. Dynamic duo, the story of Robin, or should I say Robins, as in Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. The first feature film from the visionary Swaybox, a mix of animation, puppetry, and CGI. A script from the wonderfully talented Matt Aldrich, produced with our partners at Matt Reeves' Sixth and Idaho. This is something special. No, don't want it.
Wait, what? So it's two Robins?
Robins. I don't want Dick Grayson and Jason Todd to work together. That's not the timeline.
Is this happening at some point, like in between or around 0 hour? Like, what are we talking about?
It's a lot of people were posting an Elseworld idea because it's going to be its own thing. I'm just trying to understand. Now,
Dick was Nightwing by the time Jason was Robin.
Right. We've been saying for the longest time, let's try a little bit less Batman because you have so much Batman IP. Yeah,
Titan just did it. Y'all are stupid.
This isn't even less Batman because you're taking two of the Batman sidekicks and giving them their own. Why are you doing this?
You just got a good Jason Todd. You just got a good Jason Todd though.
Yeah,
you're gonna top the TV guy? I don't think so.
I don't know.
TV Jason Todd is hard. Stop it. Don't do that. Yeah. He was good. The show was trash, but that Jason Todd was good. Brian,
the Titans one, you mean? Yeah, he was pretty good.
I like good. I'm not saying he was bad.
I like the performance.
And I won't
he
lie.
has a broken soul. You're gonna top that broken?
Well, I won't lie. Initially, when I shared it, I thought it was a real
live action,
and then when I read it afterwards, like, oh,
I knew a lot of people were expecting this to be live action because the initial response I saw online was a lot of people being like, "Yo, this is great! I can't wait to see the two of them running around the city." And I was like, "Guys, this is going to be animated." Like, I immediately thought to myself, "How are you going to?" They're not going to. First of all, they're not going to do this in Matt Reeves' universe.
No way.
Right.
So already, I have thoughts on the Penguin, which I'm going to get to when it's my chance to talk, but. You can't tell me that this is a smart idea to do an animated. The Killing Joke was good. You did okay. You put it in theaters. Well, it did okay. It did okay in theaters. No,
I just don't like the Killing Joke.
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. But that's your personal opinion. I'm just saying in theaters it did okay.
Yeah. I'm not denying.
You're gonna do this now, while you have. Here's where I feel you're diluting the brand of Batman just a little bit. You have Joker 2. A musical. You have the Batman 2 in the works somewhere. You have the Penguin, which I have so many thoughts about.
Oh no.
And you're gonna have this animated thing. Can we have one and also this none of this, by the way, linked to James Gunn's universe yet so far.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, none of this is linked to James Gunn's universe. The Penguin, the Batman, the dynamic duo, and the Joker film are all outside of Gunn's universe.
Oh, he's doing Kingdom Come for sure. He's just gonna go right in,
right?
Because
if he's leading up to Kingdom Come, though, he is gonna need a Batman.
Well, I feel like what he's just gonna do is do that first. He's gonna give you all these little, hey, you already know Batman is stories, blah blah blah, and then like 2026, he's gonna just go off and just do.
I don't think they need to redo Batman, but if you're going to introduce Batman in a Kingdom Come universe before you get to Kingdom Come, you got to at least introduce an older Bruce who's a little, he's still Gotham. What is Gotham in Kingdom Come becomes like this crazy lockdown city where he has mechs running around fighting crime.
He's wilding. But it would make sense because if the dude is if we're doing far end beginning of Batman,
right?
Yes. Only makes sense for James Gunn to do the far end of Batman because we've already seen the middle. A lot of middle.
I like this idea.
You see what I'm saying?
Doing like day 1, day 2, and then we're gonna get Gunn doing Batman toward. Oh, I'm down.
Because I'm down. I'm down. So, we've already gotten the middle. If you want to count
multiple times.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
with Ben Affleck, and then if you even count like Batman Forever and all that stuff, that's middle ground.
Yeah.
He's already established. He's Batman 3 Batmobiles middle ground.
Yeah.
So we haven't gotten the far end that would lead him in being into an old man, in which you could maybe even get your Batman Beyond. I'm not going to say.
I would prefer
this is a good idea.
Batman Beyond.
This
honestly.
is a good idea.
But then, how would you get to Batman Beyond? You see what I'm saying?
That's what you're trying to do. But again, who knows what they're cooking like that? The only thing I've not liked about this whole James Gunn camp thing is like you've kept so many things close to the chest, and like it's been a long time. You haven't said anything you're really gonna do other than Superman, and it's like we all knew you were going to do Superman because you all needed to fix Superman.
Creature Commandos or what are they called?
Creature Commandos, I believe you're correct, but still, like
that's part of the universe, though.
That's
just
supposed
animated.
to be, but still, it's like you haven't done. I want the can to be open so far.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean.
And I think one of the things that's because I think this also fits with what Skinny was saying and what like I would want. One of my understandings for Gunn's universe is the film is going to take place in a world where Superman has been doing the job and other superheroes exist.
Yeah, I do think James's Gunn approach should be anything that's like example like Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash, all these people. Like there's so many that you have that you're like people know these people. Do intros for people who like example. You don't even need to do Green Arrow. A lot of people know who Green Arrow is
at this point. Yeah,
like I mean, can you even name one of the set? I guess Martian Manhunter you could do. I would love to see a Martian Manhunter OG story where he's seeing everything unravel around him. That'd be also really cool. But apparently there's also other rumors that, and I'm not sure if I put it in the doc, but I read it earlier. apparently they might be doing a movie for Bane and a movie for Deathstroke. Now, whether or not they're part of a movie or they're getting their own movies, nothing's been confirmed, but there's rumors that they're getting something.
I was gonna say, so I'll touch on the rumors real quick. Mr. Freeze project set in Reeves's Batman universe, potentially in the works, according to Production Weekly. Production Weekly is the trade that kind of has all the different jobs for productions that are going to be coming up, like movie productions. And one of the movie productions that's listed is Mr. Freeze, and it's linked to like Matt Reeves' production company and a bunch of other things. So that was kind of like people were saying, oh, it would be a little weird for them to put it in Production Weekly because it would give it away.
Yeah.
So some people are guessing that might have just been a red herring, which, funny enough, leads me then to your article that you shared, where Bane and Deathstroke might be getting the DC studio treatment. So you tell people you're doing Mr. Freeze, but you dangle that over here, but then you're actually making something quite a bit darker. Because I have to say, if you're doing Gunn's universe, you can't have Bane and Deathstroke show up right away. From my understanding, Gunn's universe doesn't seem that dark. It seems a little lighter, whereas the Reeves universe definitely is the type of universe where Deathstroke working for the mob or Bane. I'm a little worried about Bane depicted in a more grounded universe because the Venom, like that part, the like oversized.
That's heroin.
But
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be steroid, like maybe steroids, heroin mixed. I don't know. Like it's supposed to be
like,
he's not be like crazy jacked, but like just more so than normal.
Like if you could get someone, not necessarily the Mountain, because obviously that guy isn't. Because if I'm not mistaken, Bane has been depicted more as Latin American recently, and
he's basically Dave Bautista if Dave Bautista was younger.
Right. Okay.
Like Dave Bautista was promoting that he should have been Bane, but he's even said on recently that he's like, I'm too old now to be Bane.
And he's also smaller too.
Yeah. One thing I think you know how a few weeks ago we were like saying if they were to make a Blade movie, it'd be cool to have the vampires be depicting, like seeing it through the vampires,
right? Kind of the I Am Legend style. Yeah,
exactly.
I feel that James Gunn should do that for the Batman villains. Like you see the villains interact with each other, and then the interruptions are the Batman crew interrupting them.
And sticking to what Skinny said, you do that in the later parts of his career. So it's like older versions or like younger kids trying to take up mantles, maybe. Yeah, man. Because again, you guys hit it on the head when you say we've seen the middle so many times.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves is doing the beginning, and he did a really good job with the first film. I told you guys I was in that theater, and I watched that movie start, and I said so many times I didn't want it, and as soon as it got to a certain part, I said, fuck, this is good. And I was mad. I was so mad because I didn't want it.
You were mad at yourself.
I was mad at myself for liking it.
Couldn't be mad at anybody else.
I couldn't. Everyone put in the work and they made the damn movie good, and I had to accept, well, shit. And even the decisions that would have messed it up just a little bit, like putting the Joker in too early, they took out. That someone said, don't do it. Don't put the Joker. Just have a voice in a hallway. Just let the fans figure out what they want to figure out. But don't put the Joker actually in the screen. Don't make Batman come in and talk to the Joker. Cut that stuff out. It'll still be good. And they did it. And the fucking movie's good. It drives me crazy. But I just don't want so much. I don't want it like... Don't saturate us with too much Batman again. But giving us a future where we don't see Batman. Batman's almost like the boogeyman. Like he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the boogeyman. If you give us that Batman as the boogeyman, it's set in a future where you have older villains and stuff, and you're showing us that world. That could be interesting, really interesting. And with that said, I'll touch on the Penguin super quick. I didn't love the Penguin. I don't love the Penguin. Really? I know some people do. I mean, don't get me
all out now? Is it
no, it's week to week because HBO decided to make it an HBO show, which is fine.
Make you want to see it. I mean, in the sense of, ooh, what's going to happen next?
How many are and how many have you seen?
I think there's 2 episodes, and I've seen 2 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think one of the things that bothered me is this does feel like because I saw someone make a meme of John Hamm, and it's him pitching it to HBO, and it's just like, what if I gave you Tony Soprano as the Penguin? And that's what it feels like. It feels like they're doing a Sopranos adjacent type thing set in Gotham. And I'm not mad at that because this is what we like. Gotham was supposed to be the GCPD. It was supposed to be Law and Order set in Gotham.
Yeah.
And every time we've seen people take a stab at this, unfortunately, it hasn't worked. And that's the thing I'm worried about. And after 2 episodes, Penguin in the movie in small doses, great. Penguin in full scenes
as like the focal point.
As the focal point is a lot. Colin Farrell is putting in the work, but again, it's just a lot. It's like him acting so over the top sometimes and him being super conniving, which is great, but because I don't necessarily love the character, but I'm supposed to already be at this certain point with the character because we saw him in the Matt Reeves as Batman, I feel like they didn't build up enough for me to care that this guy is trying to get away with murder.
But that leads me to the statement I said before. If the Penguin was one where he was like interacting with like the other supervillains, and again, you're not going to get that for a TV show, unfortunately, but like if he was like interacting, example, like let's say he was regularly interacting with Black Mask, you could put Bane in there. You could maybe put in well, you wouldn't because of the movie, but technically Catwoman would have been a good one, and then a few other mobsters. Like you have to have Batman is too rich of a rogue. It's like Spider-Man. You have too rich of a rogues gallery. You need to somehow display them all. When you focus on only one, you are kind of almost niching yourself.
Yeah. Sorry, Josh. You're gonna say?
I was gonna say it kind of feels like maybe everyone's expecting it to be the rogues gallery, but it's more so the long Halloween and those comics where it's just really focusing on the gangster stuff, the mob stuff, and the street level stuff, and just not going in that direction. I mean, I don't think Sodom and Grande is going to show up.
No, God, no,
like, that's not going to happen.
Doesn't feel like it's going to lead there, but I think they're focusing more like, hey, this is Batman when it's like this is more about he's facing gangsters. He's not facing people that are like, I'm King Tut and I'm the clock. Maybe somebody like Zaz should show up. That makes
Zaz would be perfect.
Zaz
would be perfect.
More sense.
Zaz, Penguin, Black Mask, Mobster Red Hood, and Pig. Because
Pig would work.
Pig is like a butcher for the mob sometimes. Like he can be hired.
Well, have you guys? I don't know if I bet you guys have seen the episode. Maybe I'm not sure if maybe you're going to remember it, but there was a Batman animated.
I knew you were going to bring it up because you're obsessed with that episode.
Just Gotham. That's what I want as a show.
He's obsessed with that episode, by the way.
Well, no, it is one of my favorite ones.
Which one is that episode again?
It's there's one where instead of focusing on Batman, you see all the bad guys. I think it's
the poker episode.
Yeah, the poker episode where they're all doing that. You need something like that for the shows. Like that's the even with what you guys have been talking about, that's like the essence of what you need for Batman. Because then you could, if you had that as a TV show, as like a base for people to understand all the bad guys, and then make a movie based off of that, the Batman movie based off of that universe, then you could go crazy.
I'm just concerned that we've never gotten a serious version of that. And if we did get a show of it, it would be hard for us to accept because every version so far of villains working together has been campy.
Well, you don't have to make them work together, right? They're in existence together. They're interacting because a lot of villains actually fight.
Oh, so like you're talking like the Joker and the Riddler war type thing.
Yeah.
Where everyone had to pick sides.
Yeah. It's just that Gotham just so happens to be one where they had a truce. But you even saw in that one Harvey and Poison Ivy, they argue in that episode at the beginning when she sits down at the table. She's like, and they're like, why is this happening? Like, well, we used to date, and like, and you're like, it doesn't have to be clean; it could be dirty.
Yeah. Okay. I'm interested. All this to say, Penguin. I'll give it more episodes. The acting is great.
I was going to ask that.
Sophia, the young Christina actress who was also in How I Met Your Mother. She was in Black Mirror in that the USS Callister. I think it's that name of the episode.
I think she's also in 30 Rock. She plays Baby something.
Yeah. Like she's really, really good as Sophia. And I definitely have to take back some of the comments. Well, not take back, but I wanted Sophia to look like a Gina Carano character because that's how Sophia looks in the comic book.
Yeah.
Oh, and just big butch.
Yeah,
buff,
she's
I'm
like
gonna mess you up.
Yeah, and like that's a big thing about her character. She's an
Imposing.
intimidating, imposing force who is like mentally ill. And mentally ill as it is, like so's Batman in that universe. I mean, everyone's mentally ill in Gotham, if we're being honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Because why are you staying? Anyone who lives in Gotham is a mentally ill person who's just like, I like the pain. Anyways, but like you have like that body type, and I thought, oh, it's so cool if you guys actually depicted that, because true Hollywood fashion, we don't see big, strong women characters like that on TV shows often. It's, you know, and so when I saw them recast for, this is like the second time she's been in a show, because they also had her in Gotham, the character, and she was like a very small petite woman. In this show, small petite woman, and I was just like, all right, you guys are just gonna keep doing that. But she brings such an energy to the character that I love, and you know, she doesn't put up with Penguin's shit. Like her and Penguin have this kind of, like you were saying, where like Harvey and Poison Ivy have that history. There's like a history between Penguin and Sophia that you get hints of, and you're like, okay, I kind of like where this is going, but like it still feels like I'm watching someone who watched Sopranos and watched Batman, Reeves's Batman, and said, I could merge these two. And that's what we're getting. We're getting like the mob conniving, and we're getting the like, you know, him being a wise guy and threatening to kill somebody every 2 seconds instead of just having a conversation. Like sometimes you could just talk to someone. You don't have to threaten to murder them to get your point across, you know? So
it's a young Penguin, right? It's like,
well, no, he's not young. That's
no,
it.
but I mean in the sense of his
rise, his ascension in the industry. Yes,
yeah.
He was
not polished.
No, yeah, he was Falcone's umbrella boy still, kind of like Fish with the on Gotham. He's kind of just like, he was just on the side, and he was given his own thing to run, like his own racket to run. But yeah, you're right. It is early days in his ascension to power.
Yeah,
whether or not we're going to see it get that far, I don't know. The other thing I'm concerned about is, how does this fit into a world where we are getting a Batman sequel?
But are you seeing the fallout? Because technically
you do see the fallout from everything.
Because like it's supposed to be submerged, the city,
yes,
or parts of it. At
least.
Yeah.
Like one of the characters that's there is there because his part of town was destroyed. He was trying to steal stuff so he could, like, you know, survive.
Okay.
And then Penguin kind of forces him to become his umbrella boy.
Okay.
And like that's the thing. Like someone even talks to him like in the last episode, someone says to him, "Oh, you're from that part of town? I heard it got hit really hard." And you can see the guy's face like, "Please stop talking about this."
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's really rough. Like you can tell he's lost a lot. So, but you know, we'll see the motivation. We'll see where these characters go. And I mean, I've said it before. Penguin is one of the most despicable characters in Batman lore.
100%.
So it's interesting to see how they, in true television and movie fashion, in any entertainment, whenever you make someone the focal point, you kind of make us associate with them and like feel for them, empathize with them. And I keep reminding myself the Penguin is a horrible person.
Yeah, he's not good at all.
He's not a good person.
He's not good at all. He's not good at all.
So that's my 2 cents.
That's fair enough. I'll give my 2 cents on Agatha all along for a moment.
3 episodes in, right?
3 episodes. Yeah. There's one that came out today. I obviously didn't. So technically, it's 4 today. Came out. I didn't get a chance to watch it. Obviously,
me neither. Yeah.
I will say this: like, I think the timing of the release is perfect in the sense of like the season, it being like October, beginning of October,
spooky season.
Exactly. And to be quite honest,
pumpkin spice.
I like that they didn't take long to like get from like, because she was like given amnesia essentially at the end of WandaVision, and they didn't make that like too long.
1 episode.
Yeah. Or within 1 episode.
Yeah, within 1 episode. Yeah.
And the one thing I will give it credit is that this is hocus pocus, and I'm not against it. I'm really not against it. I'm like, you're making it fun. You're still not making her a good person, really. You could see that she's still a deceitful person and whatnot, but it's kind of fun. Like anyone who, again, I think it's because of the season. I also think it's because, again, like I really liked Hocus Pocus when I was a kid, and like when I'm watching, I'm like, this is legit. It's Hocus Pocus vibes the whole time, and it sounds like it's going to be a fun journey to ultimately a character coming back. Now, I think it's going to be the outcome at the end that's going to determine whether or not this is going to be good or not. I think it's going to be a ride type thing. And the only other thing I'm curious about, because they've teased it a lot, they teased it a little bit in Wanda, or a lot of people thought it was going to be Mephisto was going to rear his ugly head.
Right.
And he is a character that I feel if you've gone this far into the MCU, you need to introduce like another heavy hitter that's not necessarily going to be a global threat, but still a big issue like down the line.
Yeah.
So this might be a good way to bring him into that. But overall, I think it's been fun. I feel bad for Kitty. So spoiler alert for whoever.
Whoa! Don't spoil that.
Right.
Wow.
I feel bad for Kitty. And I didn't say what that means. I'm just saying
I felt bad for
Kitty.
I felt bad for Kitty in the first episode for even being brought on this adventure.
Exactly.
So I definitely felt bad for Kitty with all the other stuff that's going on with her character. But yeah, I was just like, don't spoil that. That's actually, it's kind of interesting how they're handling that because she's not magical, but she's tricked into going into a magical world. So it's really interesting to watch how they're adjusting that for her as she navigates through this. But yeah,
it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. I think it's refreshing for an MCU television show.
Yeah, and I think it's. I'll be super quick because I know Jaws, you have Transformers that you want to talk about. I just think it's super interesting that they're doing seasonal shows too, because they now have one for Halloween and they have one for Christmas with Hawkeye. Because I rewatched Hawkeye last year for Christmas.
Nice.
And this year I'm watching Agatha now. So it's like maybe in like 2 years I'll feel like binging through a Halloween show and then a Christmas show again. So it's kind of smart for them to have these kind of seasonal things.
Yeah. And ironically, if you want an Easter Bunny show, not Marvel related, but Happy Season 2 is actually Easter related.
Oh, interesting.
I'm watching that now for the first time, and it's been funky.
That's Maloney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Jaws, Transformer 1. I've been meaning to watch this and I still didn't see it yet.
Dude, what are you doing? Go watch it. It needs your money.
I wanted to hear this. Is it good?
I'm guessing
it's actually good. It is a fully animated movie. Since Transformers the movie 1986, if I remember right. So this is basically an origin story. I'm assuming this is probably going to be the new canon that they're kind of pulling from. But it totally pulls from every other canon. There's like little hints and stuff like that here and there. So basically it starts off with Orion Pax and I think Megatron. Well, Orion Pax, who will become Optimus Prime,
right?
And Megatron, who's not named Megatron, he's named like, just a regular lame number.
Oh, interesting. I was wondering what his name was before Megatron.
Yeah, so all these characters that you kind of know and love, they're for the most part, most of them are. It's like it's like a caste system, and a lot of them are minors, and then they don't have this piece where they would use to transform. So what's always happening
it's not a default ability. They all have.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the original lore, was transforming always a default ability?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You would transform because you have a task that you would do, and then that would just be
cool. Sorry.
There we go. As Transformer Slag, probably aka Proto Man, saying Megatron's name is D-16, which is a nod to his Microman toy numbering. So there's a lot of Easter eggs here and there,
Cool.
So it's just basically like the friendship between Orion Pax and D-16 being good buds and everything. And, just their friendship and, how they look out for each other as they're both minors because it's a very dangerous job kind of thing. And Orion Pax always feels like they could be more, they could be better. And if they just show that they can, be more than minors, then they would probably ascend to the upper tier of the next class and then be able to get a transforming ability kind of thing.
Cool. Okay, so it's based off a class whether or not you're allowed to transform. That was gonna be my one of my questions.
Yeah, they're like the lower tier. They don't have this specific piece to transform. They can't transform at all. And it seems like everyone's trying to not jockey for precision, but try to move up in the world in order to hopefully break through and be able to be of that class that can transform. So Orion Pax is played by Chris Hemsworth. D-16 is played by Brian Tree Henry. So you might remember him as Paperboy from Atlanta. And like the person that's their what do you call it again? Their supervisor at the mine is Alita 1, who's played by Scarlett Johansson. So she runs a very tight ship, very efficient ship, and she's just, she's like super close to getting that bump up to the next level, and Orion Pax and D-16 kind of screwed up for her, and they ended up getting busted down and everything. So like it's just them trying to ascend, but they can't really ascend. There's this big race that happens, and Orion's like, "Hey man, I found a great spot to come check out the race." And he's like, "Wow, we're super close to the race." And he's like, "Oh yeah, here, put this backpack on. Here, put this jump pack on." "What's this jump pack for?" "Oh no, we're in the race." So
he's one of those friends.
Yeah, so they end up getting caught. They don't win the race, and they get bumped way down.
Yeah, shocking that no preparation into a race led to them losing.
But they get pretty close. They get really close, but they don't win the race.
Yeah.
And they get bumped down all the way down into like oh, we're going down to level 51. I thought there was only 50 levels.
Oh no.
So they end up with this guy named B, and B is played by Keegan-Michael Kay.
Yeah.
And B is just there by himself, and he sees new people, and he just doesn't shut up. So this kind of plays into the original Bumblebee, where he's always a talkative person. He's always, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" So it really kind of does away with the Michael Bay, not does away with it, but with the Michael Bay B that's just clicks and noise.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of going back to old school Bumblebee. And so, from there, that's where the really big adventure kicks off. They find a map. They realize the map is outside of their city, which the city has these big walls. No one's allowed outside the city, et cetera, et cetera. So there's like a bigger mystery going on, and machinations of people and stuff like that. And what's interesting is that this movie isn't really a kids movie. It's not as hilarious as, it's not as like comedy forward as the trailers make it out to be. It's actually more action. It's actually more adventure. And actually this really good build up between these two friends that in the end will ultimately become enemies, and seeing how that build up goes and how that trust is broken, and just how vengeance kind of blinds one of them to everything kind of thing. And it was really good. It was the animation was done really well. The action was done really well.
It's 3D animated though, right? Or
is it fully 3D animated movie.
Yeah.
Doesn't take place on Earth. No humans.
Nice.
It's all on Cybertron before the big war happens and everything like that. So this is just basically the lead up before the big war happens, and it really kind of sets up like, oh hey, if you're looking hard enough, you'll see a character you would most likely like, either in like the background names, or hey, I know that character. Oh shoot, it's this guy. They actually said his name. Oh, he's actually talking. Yay, that kind of stuff. So I really liked it. I would give it an 8 on 10. I want to see it again. But it's sad because animation is not doing super hot. Like I know this is not doing super well in the theaters, and also The Wild Robot, which is another great animated movie, is not doing super well as well. But like there's some good stuff out there, and
I've been seeing I was seeing a lot of people hope that Wild Robot would do better. They're not comparing it to, but saying that what's the other one? Giant Robot? Iron Giant. Thank you very much. They're saying like, although it's different from Iron Giant, it feels like a spirit, the kind of same spirit, like the idea of like good robots, because we have so many stories of like, especially in this era of AI, with kind of scary evil robots. So it's nice to have stories that focus on robots that have good hearts. So it's true. I think people should check it out. I mean, it sounds like a good double feature if you see that and Transformer 1. So maybe I'll fit that in this weekend.
But
Transformer 1 I think is definitely worth a watch in the theater. I definitely do go and watch it again and support it. But I mean, I did support it the first time around. But
it came out in September, right?
Yes.
I think that's one of the things that I've always said. I don't think it's a good time to release a movie in September, because a lot of people have been drained from all the summer movie watching, because people always go out, and a lot of people end their nights by going to the movies. And then you have people know they're going to be going in October for the horror films, right? So it's like that odd
I will say though, they've said that this August was one of the most successful Augusts in the movie cinemas in a while.
Really?
Yeah,
nice.
The numbers were actually better for August this year than the last 2 years or something. So, mind you, movies like Megalopolis don't help, because I saw Megalopolis.
But I also know that fall is definitely where they try to push out their prestige stuff.
Yes,
as well,
which is why Megalopolis got dropped in that period.
Yeah.
A real quick update on the Mr. Freeze story. So James Gunn actually did reply. I haven't heard this one. He was referring to the Penguin story, but there are a lot of rumors out there this week. Some of them are true, some of them are partially true, and some aren't true at all. If it's fun for you to know the unknowns, follow them, but don't trust anything completely until you hear it from me or Peter. He's referring to Peter Safran, his co-CEO partner, who is not online despite me seeing him tagged in stuff. I mean, in my opinion, the best source for this stuff is James Gunn.
Always.
He is very open on social media. He doesn't post on Twitter anymore, if I'm not mistaken. It seems he posts predominantly on Threads. I could be wrong. Maybe he does still do Twitter, because I know he was kind of tired of Twitter, like we were saying. I think we said that off air.
Offline,
yeah, but Twitter is what it is now, and not everyone feels as comfortable being in that space.
It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah. So
I follow who I follow just to keep the feed concise and to the point. And I'm just getting all this other stuff that I did not ask for.
Yeah.
You cannot curate it anymore.
Exactly.
I'm not paying this man. I'm not paying any money for it. I'm not. No.
Right. And those changes have made it hard. So I think that's why a lot of people are switching over to Threads. Or if you want to switch over to something equally good, Spill is available. It is former Twitter employees.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry?
Go on.
Yeah, not Jack Dorsey, who was the original Twitter founder, right? Yeah. No, these are it's like the collective of Black programmers and stuff who were working at Twitter. And when Elon came on, they were just like, this isn't the space for us anymore. So they resigned and then started Spill. Kerry Washington actually just put in some money into it as well. So Spill is growing. If you guys are interested in another social media platform, specifically one with a lean towards open conversations and support and inclusivity in LGBTQIA spaces, BIPOC spaces, stuff like that, Spill is a space for that. I've been on it for a minute, and I do find some really cool communities. You have like Podcast Spill, Lego Spill, like everything is kind of like hashtag the word you like with Spill at the end. It has become the culture of how you find stuff on there. So if you guys are looking for something other than Twitter, Threads and Spill are two places that I find a lot of fun tweets and like word, I guess like microblogging as we used to call it back in the day. Megalopolis, I will give you guys.
You watched it?
I went to see Megalopolis on opening day.
Oh dear.
IMAX.
Did you get the the crazy experience?
No. So 7 p.m. on the opening night, I saw it at 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock. I don't remember what time. But if you went to the 7 o'clock screening in Montreal, that's the one where there is an interactive experience where Adam Driver's character talks to someone who's given a script in the audience, and they get to read from the script, and he reacts. So they like cue you, and then like you read your thing, he answers back and forth. It's supposedly really interesting. So I saw Megalopolis. I gave it 5 stars.
And it's on 5 or what?
5 stars on what?
So you're saying 5 stars? It's a 5-star movie?
No, it's not. But I gave it 5 stars.
Hey,
so
5 stars on what?
On 5 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd.
What?
Yeah, and again, I'll explain. I'm
so confused.
Much like I'm saying to Dave here, I gave it 5 stars. It is in no way a 5-star movie.
And why give it 5 stars?
I gave it 5 stars because it's the type of movie where one day, not in my lifetime, people will scream from rooftops that this is a masterpiece. And I just can't wait for it. It's going to be hilarious. I wish I'd be alive to see it. I can't imagine anyone in my lifetime saying this is a good film, but God knows. Dave, there are scenes in this movie where I genuinely was like, oh, this is a comedy. Like this, I get it. It's a comedy. And then
try to make another comedy again.
And then, but then the next scene will be like a murder. And I'm just like, this doesn't feel comedic. The way that person died doesn't feel comedic. They got shot in the face. That doesn't feel comedic anymore.
So I'll just say this. His name's Adam Driver, the guy who played the guy from Star Wars and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I find him as interesting as a doorknob. He's the equivalent of paint drawing.
I can't say that for this film because so him, Shia LaBeouf, Jon Voight were all doing the thing. Like I feel like they got the script and they were just like, I know what film I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Aubrey Plaza, Giancarlo Esposito, Emmanuel, that actress, the Natalie Emmanuel, I think is her name, and like Chloe Fineman from SNL, like all those actors felt like they didn't know what movie they were in. They were given scripts and told to perform a certain way, and it was just a fire. Dustin Hoffman's in the movie at one point. You're like, what are you doing here? Jaws, sorry, you were about to say?
So I've heard that he'll like, so, you know, they got the script and everything. Everyone got the script. And I think with certain people, he said, ad lib. You go ahead and ad lib.
Yes, I heard this too.
And then also, this is a movie that Francis Ford Coppola has been trying to make since
like 20 years, 30 years?
70s,
since the 70s, even crazier.
For a very long time, supposedly a very ambitious film he's been wanting to make.
Yeah, supposedly he had the script like since Godfather or before Godfather.
Yeah, so yeah, 70s, since the 70s, and he's tweaked it, he's rewriting it, he's done this, that. So from what I've heard about this movie, it feels like all the movies feel like they're from different things, and they just smushed it together and hope for the best.
Every actor in the film feels like they're acting in a different film. Aubrey Plaza feels like she's acting in a comedy. Adam Driver feels like he's acting in what is like a dramatic superhero story. Jon Voight is Giancarlo Esposito is performing in like a Romeo and Juliet film, like a Baz Luhrmann
speaking and stuff.
No, but and in like the like his mannerisms and stuff. Baz Luhrmann type Romeo and Juliet film.
But is this okay? So I have a few questions. I found when I watched the commercial for it, I found it to be I found it excessively confusing.
Yes.
Is this a movie where is it one cohesive story, or is it like there's because like
there's a story. I can even tell you the story.
I would like to know, because I was confused. Like this guy they control reality. They do not control reality.
Put that out of your mind.
Oh dear God.
The movie is about legacy, like having a legacy.
Okay.
Every character in the movie is obsessed with the idea of their legacy, what they're going to leave behind.
Okay.
Giancarlo's character is the mayor. He's trying to fix the city. He's maybe the only character who's not thinking about legacy as it pertains to like 100 years from now. He's thinking about what the city's going to look like in like 10 years from now. Okay. But he's thinking about his legacy. Natalie Emmanuel is his daughter. Can you double check, Jaws, for me if that's her name? The woman, the lead woman with Adam Driver.
Megalopolis.
But Driver,
Natalie
Emmanuel, I was right?
Yeah, Emmanuel.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So yeah, Natalie Emmanuel is Giancarlo's daughter. She's part of his legacy, but she starts to fall in love with Adam Driver's character, who is obsessed with his legacy, but he recently lost his wife. And Giancarlo was the prosecutor when his wife died. So Giancarlo's character is the one that charged him with the murder of his wife. So there's this kind of there's bad blood between a lot of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time you're watching the film, don't forget, this is New York set in a new ancient Rome. So everyone
I'm just looking at Dave's face like
everyone has like a Caesar haircut, like the kind of like Caesar's haircut, the bowl cut, kind of like old Beatles style haircuts. And their coats all have like capes on them. And guys,
ambitious AF.
I'm telling you, you gotta honestly, guys, if you have a chance, go see the movie.
I don't want to.
Try not to pay for it.
I won't. I will. There's no way with your description. You've made me more confused with the trailer and what you've just described. There's no way. I say this with respect for the people who worked in, because some people you've named I like as actors and actresses, but like I will not pay. Not one red herring will go towards this film. I'll get it bootlegged off of a guy who will pay me to watch it.
All this is honestly, if you guys are Ford Coppola fans, check it out because it's him. If you're not fans, don't.
And what else did this guy make?
He's made The Godfather.
He made The Godfather, Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, he has
Godfather 2.
Because I won't lie, I am the only person who's going to say this, and all my Italian family is going to hate me. I find The Godfather one of the most boring films I've ever watched.
So remember, AFI, American Film Institute. The top 2 movies is Star Wars and The Godfather.
But I'll say this: I only think it's a boring movie because I just find that it could have. There's a lot of areas that could have been edited out.
All right,
that's all I'm saying.
But remember, I think you also have to remember this is the first. The Godfather is probably one of those first movies that everyone finally gets to see like Italian culture and everything.
Yeah,
and just like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, I want to learn how to make sauce. And what's a cannoli? I never had a cannoli before. I need to find out what that is.
On that note, guys, that's the end of the show. Watch
Godfather 2. It's the better one.
Yeah. But I think we can say we recommend the stuff we talked about. So Transformers 1, go check that out.
Definitely. Please,
the Penguin.
Go.
Yeah, the Penguin. If you're gonna watch The Godfather, watch The Godfather before the Penguin for sure. And then Agatha all along. So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Guys, that's the whole show.
Hocus Pocus too.
Yeah,
definitely, 100%.
Facts.
What it should have been.
Yeah, guys, that's the whole show. Thank you for sticking with us throughout this. As we switched over to this new streaming platform, so far so good. I think it went well. I think everything looked good. And yes, it is Streamlabs to Proto Man who messaged that earlier in the episode. So shout outs to the people over at Streamlabs. We look forward to working with this new streaming platform as we go forward. Everyone, don't forget you can always check us out on GeekCypha.com. I have new episodes of The Dumbest Timeline coming out, and Jaws, I'll let you sign off with the usual ending.
Remember to check out Transformers Slag and the Toy Armada podcast with Aaron Archer. Peace.